Hello friends, my name is Benedict George. This is our video number 6. In this video, I'll be showing you that the relativity scientists are imposing undue dictate on the moving frame of reference. They are imposing time dilation, they are imposing length contraction, they are imposing increase in mass. So all these measurement in the moving frame of reference are different than the measurement which the scientists on earth, that is stationary frame of reference, are imposing on the moving frame of reference. So let's move on. So I have given the name of this satellite Antarctica. Maybe I am sitting here and the scientists of relativity are sitting on the earth, who are considered as a stationary frame of reference. Now, the scientists on earth are imposing this equation. With the help of this equation, they are giving me the position of a point in my moving frame of reference. But I have already shown in the earlier frame of reference, and I will show it after some time, that there is no change in position of point P in my frame of reference. Same way, time also, there is no time dilation. Similarly, there is no length contraction and there is no change in mass. Mass I'll deal in a separate video, but all this I have already dealt in the earlier videos. Kindly go through that. So as a captain of Antarctica, I said nothing doing, there is no changes at all. Right? Whatever you are calculating is only apparent one. So how it is apparent? Let us see. This is an image which is known, we call as perspective image, where a person is standing here, another person is standing there. The person here tells dictate terms, that is stationary frame of reference, dictate terms in the moving frame of reference, that the stream has gone from broad to narrow, because this person sees like that narrow stream. If you see the road also, from here to a distance, you will find the road as narrowed, but that is perspective view. When you go there, you will find that road is equally broad. So the scientists here are imposing their dictate here. But the observer here, that is me, will know the real values of here. Whatever are measurements, that will be my real values. Right? Now next, I am also comparing it with the apparent depth. When you see a coin lying in a water, so the person seeing from outside will find this coin has come up, but that is only apparent depth. Real depth can be found from an observer who is sitting inside it. Right? So the scientists sitting here are dictating terms to the scientist here. Right? That is wrong. They can see only the apparent one, the apparent distance, apparent time dilation, apparent mass, but the real mass can be seen, the time can be seen by the observer sitting here. Right? Now, in length, in position, scientists will use this formula to give me the position of point P to point P prime. But scientists who are on the earth, sitting in the stationary frame, are not checking this point O prime, that is my origin, has also shifted from O prime to O1 prime. They have not checked. They have used only this formula for this point, which has shifted from here, from P to P prime. So the scientists are giving me wrong information. Since my position has shifted, origin of my frame of reference has shifted, that means I will find there is no change in the position of the point P here. So let us look at here. If position is O prime here, this is O prime, it is shifted to here, or say there is a P point here, the P point here, so it is shifted to here, to P prime, right? But my origin has also shifted, it has not elongated. My antar tarkiya yan is not elongated, so the origin is also shifted. So origin is shifted here. So this becomes O1 prime, right? So nothing has changed in my frame of reference, but they are imposing, scientists on the earth are imposing that there is change in the position of point P. There is no change. Everything has shifted from my origin to point P has shifted. So there is no change for me when I measure locally, right? Similarly, they are measuring time in their own way. They are thinking that O prime, my origin, where the light flash starts, and when it reaches to point P prime. So this is the distance it carries. First of all, it is wrong to use light for measuring time, because it will give a wrong notion of time extension or time dilation. The, the, the thing is that the origin is shifted from here to here. So when I measure time, I will measure from here to here, and the time, there is no change in time. So there is no time dilation for me, right? So again, they are imposing their measurement, that is this and this, on me, but my time starts from here, ends here, right? Next, length contraction. First of all the equations which is derived in our books are wrongly derived. There is no length contraction. It's very simple to understand that if the position increases, length should also increase. Actually, length should also increase. If the position increases from P to P prime, the length of any point or any bar should increase, because look here, the position of xb is here, x prime b shifts that side. If xa is here, then x prime a shifts there. So there is no change in length, because this O prime also shifts to O1 prime. So there is no change in distance from O1 prime, right? Therefore, there is no length contraction or length extension. There is nothing. You will get equal length here and here. So again, they have derived a wrong equation. I have already shown in my earlier videos. Kindly go through that. So there is no length contraction at all. Now, when I am sitting in Antartarkiya Yan and the scientists are sitting here on the Earth stationary frame, I am in the moving frame, moving with the velocity v with respect to the stationary frame, that is Earth. Now, they are using this equation. This is the main equation, x prime. That is wrong actually. I have already proved in earlier videos, but if you let it use as a correct equation for time being. If this equation is correct, then from this equation, time dilation equation is derived. See, everything they are deriving from the position, and because of that they are getting wrong values. First of all, this equation in itself is wrong, and then they are derived equation of time dilation from this. So it is doubly wrong. Wrong, again giving a wrong equation of time. So there is no time dilation. I have already shown in the earlier video, there is no time dilation. Now there is some shifting of time. Now what is the shifting of time? I have shown in my time dilation video, time shifts like how we have a local position, local time of when we check airlines schedules. There you will find that time at one place when it starts and time at other place is different. The local time is different. Because of that, you get less time or more time. But the duration of flight is same for going upside and going downside. Right? So the duration remains same, the time dilation remains same, but the time shifts. So this time is actually derived from the position. So time may shift. Time may shift from here. So time shifts from local position to another position. It shifts, increases or decreases. But please understand that we have a what we call twin paradox. In twin paradox, the time shifts. That is, a person will become here. The person will become older, and this the person will remain young. But what happens when you return from the flight? What will happen? This person will become more older. This will remain younger. So the twin paradox, where you go and come back, it will nullify. There will be no twin paradox. Right? Now time dilation is actually what? Now this is 2 seconds, and here the clock says 1 second. The problem with this is this type of time dilation, 2 seconds and 1 second. This comes up because we are using light as a time. Light goes for a distance, and when you use distance for time, there will be shifting in time. So there will be no time dilation, but there will be shifting in time. So they are using a wrong notion, and with the help of distance, time should not be connected with distance. It is a different entity, but they are connecting with the the light takes distance light take for 1 second. So again you are imposing distance in the time, and when you impose distance in time, you'll get this wrong notion. So there is no time dilation. I already proved earlier in my time dilation video that there is no time dilation. So you understood time shifting. It shifts. Return time, like airlines, it shifts because of the position of the timeline. Local time, it shifts. Again, it shifts this side and it nullifies. The duration remains same, so time dilation remains same. Now there is positive time and negative time. The issue with positive and negative time is like that: when you go from here to here and we come back, the time becomes negative. This we are not able to do. We can only shift time, but we are not able to make time positive or negative. Right? So this is making time positive and negative. This will deal in later videos. Now, see, now logical reasoning for transformation. See, the whole theory of relativity, people say that only few person at the time of Einstein, they could understood the theory of relativity. Actually, theory of relativity is very, very simple. It only impose only one thing is involved in that. That is, when you go with some velocity with respect to some stationary frame, this will shift to this. Means the measurement what you take actually theoretical, you practically you get measurement here. But this much, the distance, it is only distance. and on distance they have changed everything. They have relied on shifting of distance, and they have manipulated it with time, by time dilation, manipulated it with velocity, manipulated with velocity. Yes, there can be, because it depends on time, that's why. But mass, it doesn't depend on sorry, it doesn't depend on the position. Mass is not dependent on position, but still they made mass dependent on position. There is only one thing, just change in position, and they had manipulated everything with position. Even they manipulated time, they manipulated what you call length contraction, they manipulated it with mass and many other things. So position is not related to mass, not related to time, right? So this is the reasoning behind it. Now, see, they have, in the theory of relativity, what they have shown is the position depends upon velocity, right? So they use the formula, only one formula they have derived, that is also wrongly derived actually. X prime is equal to gamma x minus vt. This is the only formula they have derived. That is also wrongly derived. You can see my video number 2. Right? Now if we think this is a correct formula for, I'll write it properly for you. X prime is equal to gamma x minus vt. Right? Now there is a change in position, but in that theory they have not given the reason. There can be change in position, but how can it change? So we have to consider the change, how to change. So is the space, if you go with velocity, it slips, so your position changes from here to here. There is a slip, so there is some slippery space, or there is a push. So when you go with some certain velocity, the push, there will be certain push. If you go with higher velocity, the push will be more, the space is pushing, so that you transform from here to here, your position changes. Transformation is nothing but change in position, nothing. Right? Now next, if space is very fluid, it does nothing, it doesn't have any forces or some slippery surface, then what happens? Then you have to go towards our object. This is our object. So what happens in object? See, no state of rest or uniform motion means this object will not have any rest or uniform motion. Means if it goes with certain velocity, it will start accelerating. See, moves from here to here, that means actually it should move from here to here, but it moved from here to here. That means the frame of reference is accelerating. It goes beyond that in that time. So that means it is, the velocity is not constant, is going beyond that. The next, what we can think is forceless acceleration of the body. Now, acceleration is there, but how? For any acceleration, we require external force, but there is no force. Here, body is transforming from here to here. So, we can consider that when the body moves with uniform velocity, there is actually a forceless acceleration. Without force, the body moves. Right? So, it accelerates from here to here. When it goes in proper time, it should go from here to here. Say 1 second, it should go from here to here, but it moves from here to here. That means it has accelerated. So another theory, what is much more binding, which is much more helpful in this, because since we are only talking about um, velocity, uniform velocity. So another theory can be the space poles moves and it shakes with the velocity. Let us see. See, there are poles like this. When something is here and it moves from here to here with small motion, say velocity v. So what happens is this pole is shaken by the velocity. So it moves with constant velocity here, but this pole shakes and it becomes like this. So more distance is traveled with the same velocity because the pole is moving towards the sun, and it moves the other poles also when you move and goes on moving that way. But still, there is one more point about the space. The point is, if space is fluid, then why everything is going in a straight line? Because if there is nothing in the space, then light cannot go straight. It will go in any direction. So maybe this space is providing a cylinder path to any object which is straight, right? And with the help of velocity and all, this cylinder compresses and then decompresses. So the distance increases. So this is my theory. I am working on it. Now, last this thing I have shown you this acceleration by the body itself. Now let us see here. Now we are using this formula. This is wrong still. Let us assume that this is correct. Right? Now what happens in this? After 1 second, if my body should move 5000 meter after 1 second. So t is equal to 1. So my body, that is my Antarctic Yaan, moves from Earth to this position in 5000 meter. That is 5000 meter. So my x should be 5000 meter. But when I measure it practically, this, so I will get a transformation of 100 meter. That is, my x will be equal to my v is equal to 5000. V is equal to 5000 meters per second. Right? This is going, my Antarctic Yaan is going by this. So in 1 second, it will go to 5000 meter. Now what happens if x I measure at 5100 meter? So using this formula, okay, I'll get some transformation and I'll reach here. Right? I reach here. Right? I already told you that this is wrong actually, but let us consider it correct. That is totally wrong. I've already shown it in video 1. Kindly go and find out. You will earn $1000 if you find if I am wrong. So x goes to 5100 meter, right? So there is some transformation, right? It moves from here to here, right? Now what happened in second? Time is equal to 2 seconds. Now the next interval of time, that is 2 seconds, we have already reached here. Now it will not start from here again. It will start from here because my position was here after 1 second. So I'll go 5100 meter here, right? I should go 5100 meter here, but again there is transformation. and in this 100 meter also there will be transformation. This is 100 meter axis I have gone. On that also transformation will be there. So I'll go 5200 meters. Right? 5200 meter. So how many? So what is the difference? The difference is 5200 minus 5100. That is equal to 100 meter extra I have gone. And from this and this, the difference is 100 meter. So I have gone 100 meter extra now. And again I will go 100 meter extra. Means I will go now 5300 meters. So on this transformation, every time when you are using this equation at every interval 1 second or less or more, whatever at whatever interval you want of time, you will find that your transformation, with the help of transformation, your distance go on increasing and increasing and increasing. Right? It will not remain same in 1 second, then another second. No, it will go on increasing. Now this extra, so you will get 100, 200, 300 like this. So you are going extra, right? So when the distance, whatever distance is there, you divide by the time which is same, that is 1 second. So you will get velocity which is increasing at every time interval. That means the body is accelerating, right? And this velocity, the velocity of light, actually we are assuming as constant, but body is accelerating. Kindly put these values in this equation. This equation is wrong, I have already shown. But if you logically think in this way, this body will accelerate. One more thing I'll tell you. The thing is, your gamma is dependent on what? Your gamma is dependent on 1 minus v square upon c square. Right? So your gamma also at every interval will change because this velocity is changing at every interval. So gamma, value of gamma will also change because it is dependent on velocity. This velocity of this object, Antarctica Yaan. So even gamma will change at interval. This will remain here gamma, but it will become gamma plus d gamma. It will go on changing at every interval. So again, there will be change in transformation. So please understand this variation of gamma is also wrong. The derivation of gamma is wrong because it will also change if you logically think. I hope you understood this. Kindly think over it. You have to think very logically in this case. So friends, these are my references. You can go through it. You can watch a lot of videos on YouTube. There are a lot many videos are there, and then come to my videos and cross verify, apply logic, and then find, if you find any issues or problem, you can send your suggestions, your criticism to me. Thank you so much. We'll be meeting in the next video.